Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Cole. Welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the rider careers. Patrick McDonald stands on the edge of the Moto2 title. Can he finally get over the hump in Malaysia? And so here comes the champion-elect on his speed up for 2 qualifying laps around the Sepang International Circuit. The penultimate round of the season. As it's very cloudy overhead, but there's no rain in qualifying. These are 2 dry laps. McDonald will attempt. Normally it does rain round as we've seen in the past for Patrick, but this time around we're going to check out his dry speed on this Moto2 machine, and that is not a good start. Going wide in the first corner, so easy to do that to outbrake yourself. This track just feels a bit weird on a motorbike. Built for F1 cars in the late 90s. Definitely shows it. Let's see what you can do. That's not a good first sector, of course. It's a very tricky circuit on motorbike as well. It's very much dependent and built around high aerodynamics and being wide enough for cars as well to be too wide virtually everywhere. It's a modern F1 facility. So there's lots of space for the motorbikes to do some passing. You also have lots of corners like this that are kind of 3rd or 4th gear, and the bike or bike when it's an F1 car it's like it's 5th or 6th gear. Let's go into the left hand hairpin. Just about making it through, alright. Bit wide on the exit maybe. Now into the right hand again, very wide. There's not been the best bank of that from McDonald we've ever seen. Now through the left hand, a very slow 3rd gear. Approach the final couple of corners into this very tricky turn. Penultimate corner, so easy to mess up, we've seen in the past, and full of instant as well. McDonald negotiates it. Now into the final corner, such a long braking zone. Very easy to run ride as well, but that's a nice smooth exit. Picked up the power beautifully, did McDonald. So he's going to cross the line with a 206, is it? Yeah, 206.9. We need to go around a second faster, be in the 205s. But then I said that in Philip Island last about, and he grabbed pole, so let's see what will happen on this lap. As in Japan, McDonald had his first chance at grabbing the title. Kind of messed them up on the opening lap. But in Australia, oh look at that, almost a second fast already. Despite falling midway through the race, he charged in second half the race and grabbed a vital victory. 11th of the season, amazing amount of victories he has when he grabs the title. Had so many in Moto3 as well, that charge in the second half of the season. Only in the Red Bull Rookies was it a very close championship to the final round in Aragon, where he got set in controversial circumstances. But since then, Patrick McDonald has just kicked on. Been immediate title contenders. I've been right up there in Moto3 and Moto2. And has won the title his rookie year in Moto3. And it's like he's going to win it in his 2nd year in Moto2. We have to wait 3 years then in MotoGP to win the title. We'll find out beginning next season, as he is definitely going to be stepping up a class after this season. And he go 206.7 from Luke, so he was right up there anyway, McDonald. Despite missing up that first corner, and he's been losing time this lap despite a superb first sector. Next to have not been as good. To a 6.6 from Morbidelli. But McDonald keeps up this pace this lap, be right up there. And he's got Nakashima is that in front, not Nakagami. He's going to be providing some lovely slipstream towards the line. It's a 205.7 as Brad Binder falls. You might owe the Japanese rider a beer after this race, as Nicolai grabs pole almost a second ahead of Marquez with Luti in third. Morbidelli on the second row. And also Olivia and Passini. And then we've got Nakagami, Baldassarri and Charlotte on the third row. Xavi around at the top 10. And Ika at the back with Corsi in 23rd and Pisani in 30th. So can Patrick McDonald grab a victory and grab the title? As we see Orange Crush on pole, looking very happy about it as well. Very important pole with his title rival starting directly behind him. So maybe got a knockout into this first corner, a long run to it. As it's, despite it being cloudy, it's remained dry for the race. You look further down, we've seen the home hero Surin on the 6th row. Looking further back, there's Paoli on the 10th with usual switch. As Patrick McDonald revs up the engine for the penultimate race, waiting for the lights to appear and go out for this 5-lapper. As he's got a fantastic getaway, but will he survive the first corner? As he break around 100 metres, breaking a bit early maybe, and oh, that's allowed Oliveira, Marquez, Luti, Morbidelli, Bassini. Is that Shirota? Down his inside, so he's dropped that down to 6th. Baldassarri, number 7 in 7th. Him next like, or should we say 8th? As there goes Bassini, there goes Baldassarri, there goes Bagnaia. Here comes Serini, number 10 in 10th. For how much longer as oh, McDonald goes wide. Now we got Xavi into 11th. Or into 10th, should I say. Past McDonald. He drops back down to 11th temporarily as he gets past all these Italians holding each other up. Gets down the inside of Marini, goes down Baldassarri, got held up by Passini, so back into 7th for number 70. As he nicks down the inside of Passini in the double right. Oh, almost goes under back with his former teammate. So he battles his way into 6th after dropping as low as 11th. Even looking to make the move on Shirota as all. Passini just kind of pushes him into. So look at all these Italians operate in one space. You seem to have a family gathering or something. Having Sunday lunch as oh, he gets pushed right by Bagnaia. Oh, McDonald goes all over the curb though into the left-hander, goes wide. That was Bagnaia, Bassini, Marini through. He goes into the tight right-hander. Bassini very slow through it. Being overtaken by Xavi, by Baldassarri. That's what a crazy shuffle in this first lap. As you can see, 5th place right in front. The top 4 have just gone away from this madness. I don't blame them as oh, McDonald goes wide. The final corner and oh, Bassini goes into McDonald. As Shirota gets into 6th. They've got Baldassarri up to 9th, Xavi in 10th, Bassini, a veteran down. Crashing in the final corner, clipping the rear of McDonald, who settles in 8th. Going on to the second lap. There's 7th, 6th and 5th though, right in front. Marini battling for it with Bagnaia as he gets past Shirota. Well, McDonald a bit too much curb in the second corner. We've got Baldassarri in 10th, Pons in 11th. The Spaniards. Oliveira leads though on the KTM. That's pretty good for the championship. Here goes Xavi down the inside, McDonald into the right-hander. Set 3 forcing the speed up riders. Luti leads now ahead of Oliveira. Good move from the Spaniard in the right, but he doesn't hold it into the fast left in the middle of this lap. On Shirota again, passed by Marini, the suitor falling backwards. And so is Marini back down to 7th. McDonald into 6th. He's got Bagnaia in front, 4th, 5th. BR46 rider having a very good race so far. And all lets him know he's there with a nudge though. In the second right-hander, he's got Morbidelli up to 2nd ahead of Luti. And up into the lead past Oliveira. Can McDonald get by Bagnaia? No doubt he's going to get the pit board as he goes down the start-finish straight. And letting him know that Morbidelli leads. And the Mark VDS in 4th is actually Marquez behind the Swiss rider. But that's a good move from McDonald into 5th. Now can he clear himself? There's a midfield madness and get towards the top 4. Bit squirrely on the exit of the penultimate corner as he goes down the back straight. There's unusual grandstand. We fans on both sides. As all they're running wide in the final corner is everyone. And just about holds on to the bike under braking as Olivia takes back the lead from Morbidelli. Marquez third. Lucy fourth. Ronnie Hernandez down. The Colombian at the back of the field anyway though. No, does the fastest at 207.1. He's stepping on it. As he goes a bit wide in the first corner though. As Marquez takes the lead from Olivier. What a first couple of corners from Alex. It's very lonely now in fifth. He has cleared himself off Bagnaia, of Baldassari, of Marini, of Xavi. Has Olivier takes back the lead from Marquez. They're battling like a hound in front, the top four. Even at a 1.7 seconds in front of McDonald, he would close this gap quickly midway through this race if they continue battling like a hell. As Marquez up to second, ahead of Morbidelli. Two Mark VDS having internal battle. As remember, there's a good battle for second in the championship going on between the top three in this race. With Luti in fourth battling for fifth in the championship with Passini. Very much helped out with the Italian crashing out. No doubt breaking himself into the final corner and going into Patrick McDonald earlier this race. And look at this, we now got the top five maybe for the win. As Olivier gets back behind Marquez. As I said, this track, designed for F1 cars, but it's so wide that it allows motorbikes to overtake everywhere. That's the top four demonstrate. Morbidelli back by his teammate. And now McDonald onto the tail of this top four. Big gap behind to Bagnaia of almost 2 seconds. But the VR46 machine having a very good race though in sixth. Ahead of Marini, Baldassari, Xavi, Axel Pons as well. But there Marcel Chirotta as the suitor held on to its pace. Or will hold on to its pace going into the second half of this race. So everyone going wide in the final corner. And all going for the tight line. But then he won't have a good enough exit heading down the start finish straight, heading on to the penultimate lap of the race. On our 207.4 from McDonald. It was all bad. No, he gained some time in that final set to a couple of tenths. He's all going a bit wide into the first corner now. As everyone's out braking themselves, jostling for position. They're all sticking back here. Getting the popcorn out. As Marquez up to third, ahead of Luti. Morbidelli second, Oliveira in the lead though on the KTM. It's all Bagnaia gaining some time in that first sector. Don't very cautious, everyone battling in front. Just sitting here in fifth. Maybe waiting to pounce on the final lap as Morbidelli goes into the lead ahead of Oliveira. So McDonald knows if everyone's just battling with each other, you can take advantage of that as he takes advantage of the Luti going slow into the right-hander. Back into fourth, up into fourth. And he gets into Alex Marquez. The first right-hander, that allows Luti by. So he gets past the rear gunner for Morbidelli. Very clumsy. As Marquez just braked way too much into the right-hander, almost goes back into the back of McDonald into the left. As Olivier takes the lead from Morbidelli. You notice if he just finished ahead of Morbidelli, he's won the title. So is that what McDonald's aiming for? Or of course, he's aiming for the victory as well. Luti behind Luti, almost into the back of the Enterwetter machine now. For McDonald going into the penultimate corner around the outside of Luti, is he? So that's why they're trying to battle back, but yes, into third. As you go down the back straight, the helicopter hovering overhead. Because the pilot's just hovering, getting the action for the final corner, even though there's a big grandstand you can see. Kind of covering that up. No, Morbidelli upbrakes himself, almost goes into Olivier. McDonald almost goes into the Portuguese rider as well on the exit. As we've got a three-way fight for the victory here in Malaysia going on to the final lap. Maybe a four-way fight with Luti, maybe a five-way fight with Marquez as well sticking around. It's going to the first corner. Oh, Luti almost into McDonald. Not almost into Olivier as Luti tries to surprise attack into the second corner. As it worked out for the Interetta man, it has. As Bagnaia and Marina battling for sixth. Marquez almost a second back. He's dropped off his top four. And oh, McDonald on the curb. He's outbraked himself. He's gone wide. He joins the circuit alongside Marquez, who immediately backs out. He knows what McDonald's capable of. Doesn't want to be hit again. Does a Mark VDS, man. So go through the S's. He got Luti in front. Got a superb exit from McDonald. Down the inside into the first right-hander. Can he hold it into the second? Luti tries to get alongside. He's got half a lap to go. Oliviera's holding on from Morbidelli. McDonald trying to force his way into that battle though. Luti trying to force his way into the back of the speed up. Doesn't quite impregnate it though. As he go through the right-hander. Battling with the bite of McDonald. Tyres not that one. We can feel it just drifting away. Only around third away worn both tyres. Let's see, we go. McDonald try and set them up through the penultimate corner. As Oliviera blocks Morbidelli. And Morbidelli though finds a way through in the right-hander. McDonald's got good slipstream off the KTM. KTM got good slipstream off Morbidelli. Who is going to win this Malaysian Grand Prix? As all they go, both go very well. McDonald going for the cutback down the inside of Oliviera, but not quite getting the drive to get past Morbidelli as the Italian wins. But McDonald wins the title, doesn't he? Fantastic ride. 2 seconds. He gets the fastest lap, just a quarter of a second behind his main rival, the ex-Moto2 champion, as McDonald does win the championship. My maths is correct. It's always debatable. That is, has Oliviera in for just 3 tenths behind. Very close between the top 3, with Luti in for second back. A couple of cents back is Bagnaia. Where is Marquez with Marini in 6th, Baldassari 7th, Savi 8th, Axel Pons in 9th, and Corsa making it 2 speed-ups in the top 10, ahead of Aguilar, the top suitor, as we got Schwarzer down in 13th. Well, to the German in the second half of that race, no pace, with Bassini recovering 240, and Remy Garner grabbing the final point for Tech 3 ahead of Raffin by just 6 hundredths of a second. Alex Marquez down in 19th, well to him on the final lap, with Brad Binder in 20th, with Simone Sandro Cortese at the back. So there it is, confirmed. Your new Moto2 champion is Patrick McDonald with just 1 race remaining, 25 points on offer. He leads Franco Morbidelli by 44 points, an insurmountable lead, with Morbidelli also guaranteed of second in the championship, 43 points ahead. Miguel Oliviera leapfrog Alex Marquez with the non-point score for the Spaniard by 3 points. Well, battle for third we have heading to the final round, with Thomas Luti, Nicolas Sakura in 5th, now 13 points ahead of Baldassari, leaps ahead of Passini after the Italians for this race. Then we've got Bagnaia in 8th, virtually guaranteed of that spot, ahead of Zavi's virtually guaranteed 9th, ahead of Marini, who is guaranteed a top 10 finish, well deserved for the Italian, ahead of Nakagami, 6 points ahead of Fabio Quartararo, who's a single point ahead now, Domi Agata in 12th. As they're looking further down, we've got no changes apart from Edgar Pollins up to 29th ahead of Bazzani, and Ecart to 31st ahead of Paoli. As they construct to stand, and Cadix are first, KTM are second, speed up are they third though, 14 points ahead of Tech 3 of Suter, guaranteed the wooden spoon. So there is your championship winners, Patrick McDonald 44 points ahead of Morbidelli, but who's going to grab third? Is it going to be Oliviera or Marquez? Yes, he may have won the title, but still he finished second, just by his main rival. He's not very happy about that, as Oliviera and Morbidelli exchange war stories from that race. What a battle they had, with McDonald just about emerging on the final lap to grab that second spot. But the clones were partying tonight. Yes, all the reputation earned. Well, almost all the reputation earned. So there's just 1 race remaining, the coronation race for Patrick McDonald. He may have got his second place finish of the season in Malaysia, but of course he wants to go on top in Valencia with a victory. Can he do it? So here we are in Spain, in Valencia, for the 4th and final time we visit this country, with Patrick McDonald as the Moto2 champion. He's made it 3 out of 4, just the big one to go for the Kenyan. But he's got 2 final laps in Moto2 qualifying before he heads to the big time. And the big race as well, the longer race to end the season. Let's see how he does on this speed up. He's been very good on it. Just like he was on the KTM, on the Calyx as well. Not that good on the Suter. And we never know what it'd be like on the Tech 3. Unfortunately, at least at this level. Never know, you might join them in MotoGP. He's got lots of options when he steps up. Patrick McDonald. Be interesting to see who he chooses. Might just go around all the manufacturers at the top level, like he almost done in Moto3 as well, in Moto2. Of course, you could only choose the KTM at Red Bull rookies. So halfway through his first effort, race the crowd to the right hand side. Of course, they're not very happy about him nicking the title, not their home hero Alex Marquez, as he's locked in about with his teammate Franco Morbidelli for second in the championship. At least he was until the last round, was he? Because Morbidelli won ahead of McDonald. So Marquez is definitely battling for third with Oliveira. And that should be a good battle between the KTM and Mark VDS rider in this final race of the season. McDonald having a decent qualifying effort. He's hitting all the apexes. May not be carrying the speed through them though. We'll find out here. It's Raffin with 37.8. McDonald much faster, 35.9. Almost 2 seconds faster than the Swiss rider. His ex-teammate. Let's see if he can go even better on his second qualifying effort though, as he normally is better than his banker effort. But he actually finishes this second qualifying effort. Again, able to get on the power nice and early. Through the kink and that even in the first split, even though it says he's red. So he's like a thousandth, or what's even higher than a thousandth for the second fast in his first ever. Oh, his teammate Corsi is down. And look at that, Luti on pole now, 35.3. So at least McDonald's in the 35s, he'll be right up there on the grid. We reckon top 10 at least with his first effort. And he's fast in his second, but 6/10 down to his former teammate. Okay, where is he going to grab back that time? Is it in this sector where he's normally good? Especially into this double right. Can be very aggressive. Net for him to make moves into these couple of corners. And look at that, Morbidelli into the 34s, 34.8. And he has gained back some time, just 4/10 down on Morbidelli. So let's see what he can do in the final sector then. Can he keep it up? As they go able to hug the inside line through the long left-hander, flat out. Now at the final corner, on to the start-finish straight. For the final time in Moto2, can McDonald do well in qualifying? Just a couple of tenths faster, which means he starts in the middle of the third row alongside Nakagami and Schwartz, with Zabi round at the top 10 in his home round on the Tech 3. As it's the other home hero, Alex Marquez, who grabs pole around 9/10 of a second faster than McDonald, and just 10,000ths of a second faster than his teammate Morbidelli, with Luti for just a further 8,000 of a second back. They definitely have been the class of qualifying the top 3, with Olivia leading second ahead of Passini and Baldassari. As further down, we've got Danny Kent on the 4th row alongside Marini. On the 5th row, Quartararo, Agata and Bagnaia. Then on the 6th row, Axel Pons, then Surin and Isaac Vinales. Then on the 7th row, Xavier Simon, Jorge Navarra and Sandro Cortese. On the 8th row, Jessica Raffin, Simone Corsi on the speed up, then Remy Gardner. On the 9th row, Brad Binder, Yoni Hernandez and Edgar Pons. Then on the 10th row, we've got Nakashima, Paoli and Axel Bassani on the other speed up. Then on the back row, Andrea Locatelli, Stefano Manzi and Ika Lecunda. I do apologise for that terrible pronunciation, but let's see what Patrick McDonald can do in his final Moto2 race. It is hard fronts and rears for McDonald as the grid gets off for their warm-up lap. So there is Orange Crush in the middle of the third row. What can the champion do from that position? No doubt it'll be right up to the whole of the race, hopefully. In this longer race, has looking further down. All familiar suspects in all the familiar positions. As here's the speed up, revving up for the final time this season. Wait for the lights to appear. And go out for this 14-lap race. A fantastic start for McDonald. Already jumped up a position. Looking to go around Baldassarri into this first corner, around the outside of the Italian. And looks like number 7 has held on as Piscini, actually, the slow Italian for that first corner. McDonald making good moves around the outside, though. Looking to make the move on Marquez while Baldassarri goes down the inside. It looks like Piscini's made his way back by as the Italian. And McDonald back through. Looking to go down there inside of Baldassarri, but down. He's going to be way down the field. That's all he gets into. Is that Nakashima? As he's down to 24th, down to 23rd. He's got Gardner in front. He's got Binder. As he goes around the outside, this South African on these hard tyres, which are definitely getting up to speed, up to temperature. It's opening up. And he tries a desperate dive down the inside. Quite a few rides, including, I think that's Cortese, up into 17th. For McDonald, he's already on the edge of the points past his teammate as well. In that move, Corsi. So he's battling with Pons as you go around the outside. I believe this is Xavier Simon, the Belgium. This very colourful machine. Oh, great move from McDonald into the fast right. Very confident. Simon gets him on the exit though. Great move from the Belgium back, and McDonald really having to lift through the fast left-hander. And then dives down the inside into the final corner. Up into 16th. As Morbidelli leads on this open lap, 39.8. Fastest lap. McDonald is around 4 seconds back at the time being. There's actually Olivier did a fast lap, 39.8. There's all Cortese down to 17th. Or up to 17th, should I say. Pons up to 18th. As Simon is dropping down the order, and then Isaac Vinales up to 48th. Danny Kent in front. You can see that battle. It looks like Shirota's dropped back as well, as the German. Behind his teammate. Or fellow Suter rider, shall I say. This is McDonald looking to grab a point from his ex-teammate. His first teammate in Moto2. And now looking to dive down the inside of Isaac Vinales for 13th. Nice and smooth on the Spanish driver in front of the home fans as well. I'm sure they're very happy about that. Let's got another Suter, Dominic Agata in front. Just half a second. Then we've got Zavri, you can see. And looks like that might be Quartararo holding on to the final point, or final top 10 position, should I say. So here goes McDonald down onto the dirt down the inside of Zavri on the Tech 3. And it is the Frenchman holding 10th. McDonald trying to dive down the inside all over the curve zone. In the fast right is Zavri ahead of Agata for 12th. To go into the final corner. Got Bagnai in 9th. Looks like Marini in 8th. Morbidelli again with the fast at 36.3. What's McDonald done though? 36.5. So he's around 4.2 seconds behind the leaders. Leading on to this third lap. If our mouse is correct. And that's the gap we got to monitor. Especially at the end of the race where McDonald should be faster. In these hard tyres. Especially if they've gone for mediums as he dives down the inside Quartararo into the top 10 for McDonald. Great battle through the field. I'd have been too aggressive on that opening lap. Into this corner down the inside of Baldassarri for the top 5. Just did not work out. But now it's going to get tougher for McDonald to make his way through the field. As you've got some very competent riders in front, beginning with Bagnai, a very highly rated Italian. Definitely going to make his way up into MotoGP very shortly. That's how good he is. He's not going to be hanging around in Moto2 for a long time. But he's hanging around in front of McDonald alongside his fellow Italian of Marini, it looks like. Someone dives down the inside of one Italian. Can he make it 2? As he goes into the dirt again. Can't quite make the move stick. As he goes into the fast right. Gets past Bagnai, is held up by Marini. Very opportunistic move. Got the speed up. But he just can't carry the speed around that left-hander with these hard tyres. Trying to hold it around the outside into the final corner. Not quite working. But he's going to get the slipstream down the start-finish straight as Morbidelli once again with a fast at 36.3. Well, McDonald does a 36.4. He's definitely matching the leaders as McDonald. Despite being down the field and have the battle his way through it. If he gets past Bagnaia, by the time he gets him on the exit. Can McDonald get him into the left-hander? No, as he looks down the inside of Marini. And look at that, it's opportunistic. From the speed-up rider and up into 8th. What a move. So I don't know how he made that stick. He's got Nakagami a second in front in 7th. There's, Bagnaia into the side of McDonald, just like McDonald did to Baldassarri. What was the Italian doing? As Cortoro gets back his top 10 position. Thanks to that moment of madness from the Sky Italia rider. And now McDonald charging towards the top 7. Gonna have to put that instant behind him quickly. As in next up we got Bassini in 6th. And it's like Baldassarri still holding on to that top 5 position. Great job from the Italian. Yes, of course, they're battling in the championship, Bassini and Baldassarri. Least we forget. Nakagami in front, the Japanese rider. Had a very up and down season. Some races he's just disappeared. Some races been strong like this. Slowly in the top 10. As we go on to the 5th lap. With a 36.2. Very good that time as he's right in the tail of Nakagami. In fact, the fastest out of the race so far. Those hard tyres are Hardy, Raw and Zavi. Ahead of Quartararo, 4/10 behind. So once again kicking up the dirt into a slow corner. As now he's gaining on that top spot of Morbidelli. He takes a little look down the inside of the Japanese rider already. Nice and smooth out the right hander though, into the left hander. Down the inside of Nakagami. Being very aggressive, but you can see all the riders in front in a line virtually. So McDonald can already see who he needs to aim for in this race. Those Mark VDS riders. Luti right at the front, along with Oliveira. It's all McDonald almost into the back of Nakagami. He takes the ride line round the outside of the Japanese rider into 7th. Good move once again from McDonald. That's definitely going to be his passing spot. That double right, but he's gone wide. Through the right hat, fast right. And then through the fast left, really having to take a tight line to defend from Nakagami. But he's gone wide into the final corner. Is that his position? Austin is. All that work. Very scruffy lap as well. He's going to be losing time to Morbidelli into the 37s. He's probably lost the second that lap. So once again, the gap's probably gone up to around 5 seconds in front of McDonald. He's got to clear Nakagami quickly. As he goes down the inside of the Japanese rider into the left-hander. Can he hold that position? Nakagami pushes him wide. It almost leaves the bike on the exit. Then into the right. Nakagami not giving up. Japanese rider fighting hard for this 7th spot. And it's costing McDonald time on the leaders. Could this be costing him like it did in his first season in Moto2? Battling with Bagnaia, I think it was, or Baldassarri. For a number of laps. That cost him a go. Had the victory in the end, even though he did get a podium. But he's finally past Nakagami. Is he? The Japanese rider doesn't look into the left-hander. Doesn't make it work though. Let's go through the fast. Right, then into the tighter. These double rights. And this time McDonald's finally killed Nakagami. So let's concentrate on the 2 Italians in front. Bassini and Baldassarri. It looks like 3rd and 4th having an intense battle for the final podium spot. Let's go into the final corner. A bit wide again from McDonald. As Marquez ahead of Luti for that 3rd place. To go on to the 7th right, virtually halfway through this race. 36-1 again, he's lost time perhaps to the leaders. So he's going to have to pull his finger out, is he? No, 36 one's actually the fastest, actually, so total opposite. I keep thinking they're in the 35s in front, but it's actually the 36s. So McDonald has gained back maybe half a second. As we've got some good battles going on for the bottom echelons of the top 10. With Marini and Xavi battling for 9th. But now it's going to be all about this battle for the top 5. He's going to have 3 in a line. McDonald, Piscini and Baldassari. And you can see Luti and Marcus battling like a hell for 3rd. Then you've got Oliveira in 2nd. Going to be no man's land. Just ahead of the battling pair for 3rd. But way behind Morbidelli in the lead. But we know what Oliveira is like. He's going to be strong in the second half of this race. So McDonald can get to his tail pretty quickly. Could drag the pair up to the tail of Morbidelli. As you can see, he's got a couple of second lead at the moment, does the Italian. As McDonald dispatches fellow countryman of Piscini. Now looking to get past Baldassari and get into the top 5. And of course, this is a move that cost McDonald on that opening, trying to dive down the inside of Baldassari. He's been fighting ever since. As we head into the second half of the race, it's just like the first lap all over again. So it goes into the 35s, 35.9. All these high tyres are working now. It's all over the bump, almost losing the rear end. That was Marc Marquez-esque. He sets another fastest lap. He's gaining on Morbidelli. He's gaining on Oliveira. He's almost into the top 5. Has a little look at Baldassari. Into the right hand, a bit too far back on this occasion to spear him. And flip over his bike. Let's see what he can do onto the back straight. Normally very strong, nice and smooth on the power. Got some slipstream now. Will the home fans be seeing a good move into the left-hander? Oh, they will. But he gets it down to first gear, gets the back end out, allows Baldassari back through. But we know how strong McDonald is into the right-handers and just easily down the inside of Baldassari, but he gets into the dirt in the second right. That allows Baldassari back through. He tries having it into the fast right, but holds him off though. And into 5th place. Oh, but Baldassari not giving up at all. Wants a fight with McDonald. He dives down the inside of the final corner. But too much speed. Baldassari gets back by, but we give the slipstream to the speed up. Let's head on to the 9th lap of the race. 36.5 now. It's costing McDonald some time, this battle. But not too much. Oh, not close enough into the first corner. As he gets onto the curb on the exit. Maybe into the second corner, into the left-hander. Goes down the inside of Baldassari. Doesn't make it stick though on the Italian. He's going to the infamous right-hander. It looks like he has. So now he can concentrate on Luti and Marcus in front. And maybe try and gain on Morbidelli as well. Once again with some clean air. And just start riding the socks off this bike again. As again, it's a bit like last season, this Valencia race. McDonald having an early incident and having to fight his way through the field. But he seems to be doing a bit better on the speed up this time than on the Interwetter machine last season. He's already onto the back of his teammate at this stage of last season, Thomas Luti. He's battling for a top 5 in the championship. The likes of Piscini and Baldassari. And battling for a podium with Marcus in this race. The veteran showing that he's still very good in this category. And that for once, his pace is not dropping off as the race goes on. That's with 5 laps to go now. McDonald is pushing hard. 35.6. Over a second, almost a second and a half ahead of Baldassari behind. And almost loses the rear in the first corner, has to go wide. Has to rejoin the circuit. He's around half a second behind Lutio Marquez. Or not that far behind Oliveira in second. Maybe if they stop back then they could catch up to the Portuguese rider on the KTM. Maybe if Oliveira wasn't having to look over his shoulder, he could catch up to Morbidelli. He has a handsome lead. The final third of this race. He's all pushing very hard. But still the tyres not that well worn. Around a third for the front and rear. Which is very good. Maybe could afford to go on a medium tyre. But still these tyres have been very good. McDonald been pumping in fastest laps all the time. Is he looking to make a move on the inside of Luti? Not quite on this occasion. But now he's definitely in slipstream. For the start-finish line. He can stick to the tail of this pair. Through the long left. And now into the final corner. Good braking, good smooth exit. Now here you go, slipstream time. As we go on to the 11th lap of the race. Bernard slips to a 36.1. Fortunately, Luton getting a stronger slipstream off the Mark VDS machine in front. So I can't make a move into the first corner, maybe into the second corner. Just like he did. To get into 8th. Oh, not quite. But it's much smoother getting onto the power though. And into the right, and he's trying to surprise Luti. He does. Great move for 4th. Thomas did not see that coming. Should have expected it though from McDonald. He would have thought he'd know what his teammate likes to do with those surprise moves in unusual places. But now he's got a beautiful slipstream on Marquez. Can he dispatch the Spaniard quickly? Which will really help him chase after his Mark VDS teammate as he goes all over the curb on the left-hander. Can he get a smooth exit though? Oh yes he can. Up into the podium places for Patrick McDonald. Just 2 riders to go if he wants to win his final Moto2 race. As he's less than a signal behind Miguel Oliveira, the Portuguese rider in the KTM, who's normally so good at this stage of the race. But it looks like he's got no answer to Franco Morbidelli in the lead. So we're going into the left-hander, nice and smooth on the exit. As he just got 3 laps to go now. McDonald back into the 35s, 35.7. He is pushing like a hell. The latter stages of this race once again. His tyres are in very good nick, half worn now. He can afford to push in his final couple of laps. That's all, had to lift up the throttle there, make sure he's smooth on the power. He slides the bike into the right-hander. Not ideal. And keep it in second gear into the next right. And then into the left. Getting down the second gear for this back straight. Nice and smooth enough on the power. But you can see Oliveira's kept that gap consistent in the first half of that. But now into this sector, McDonald is very strong. The speed up, short shifting up to third to get smooth exit. Can just be full throttle through the right, and almost sliding into the back of Oliveira, into the slow right-hander. But now he'd definitely be looking to get the slipstream of the KTM down the start-finish straight, even nicking into the fast right-hander for a move. Not quite paying off though. Make sure you don't go too wide. Oh, he's right on the tail. Great braking. Into the final corner, but he almost loses the bike getting onto the power. That's cost it. That's not the victory for McDonald. He's just battling for a second now. Cost him way too much time. Cost him slipstream down. The start finish straight onto the penultimate lap. So Gani grabs second in from Oliveira. As he's never finished third this season. That's a strange statistic, isn't it? Finished on the podium 13 times. But has never finished third. But he's not about to do that in the final race of the season. But he's now got Alex Marquez right in his tail though, after that mistake. Spaniard looking to grab a final podium of the season in front of his home fans. And of course, get closer to Oliveira in their battle for third in the championship. Maybe try and make a move onto the final lap. Don't see Oliveira keeping the gap consistent to McDonald on this lap. He's once again short shifting up to third, as he's going to be really ringing the tyres. In these last couple of laps, once again sliding up to Oliveira into that slow right-hander. But this time, can he get a smooth exit out that final corner? As he goes into the fast right all over the tail, the KTM. Once again, carrying perhaps too much speed going into that long left-hander. This is an important corner. Can he get a smooth exit this time? That's better, but perhaps not close enough to get a super slipstream as you go into the final half of the race. It is McDonald v Oliveira and Marquez for second. He's going to the first corner slightly wide. Doesn't it? It's like Franco Morbidelli has won this race. Cesar Vinali in Valencia. Going nice and tight into that left-hander. Gap still around 7/10 though to Oliveira. And around 7/10 behind though to Marquez. So at least he's in no man's land. Won't be looking behind. He'll definitely be focusing in front. So with half a lap to go, going onto the back straight. Going to be nice and smooth on the power. Get some slipstream off Oliveira, which is happening. Look at that, just 3/10 behind. He's going to have a dive into the left-hander. Oh, Oliveira just holds him off. As now he's looking to the right-hand side. What are you doing, Miguel? Here comes McDonald down the inside. You're looking too early. It's into the right hand. He keeps it nice and tight, nice and smooth on the power on the exit. Morbidelli 3 seconds in the lead. He's going to the fast right. Not the best exit for McDonald. But that's much better through the fast left. Now into the final corner. Can he hold the apex? He can. Can he be smooth on the power? He can. As Morbidelli wins in Valencia. As bows out as champion now with the new Moto2 champion officially. Patrick McDonald grabbing second in a fantastic battle. With the Oliveira, did a fast lap by a country mile ahead of everyone else. He was 3.5 seconds behind his season-long rival. And just a few tenths ahead of Miguel Oliveira, his ex-teammate as well in the middle part of this season. Then Alex Marquez just off the podium in his home race in fourth, ahead of Thomas Luthi. Then Baldassarri in 6th. Fassini in 7th, Nakagami 8th, Savi in 9th in his home round on a Tech 3. Super job once again from the Spaniard. With Bagnaia ran out top 10 ahead of Luca Marini. Then Courtois dropped down to 12th in the end of the Frenchman. With Agato in 13th, top Suter. Then Corsi on the other speed up in 14th, ahead of Danny Kent, who grabbed the final point just ahead of Remy Gardner by around a second and a half. Then we got Axel Ponte 10th, Brad Binder 18th. Xavier Simon in 19th, Raffin round out top 20 ahead of Schrotter. Poor race from the German, really did drop like a stone all race long. Then Serwin in 22nd, Hernandez 23rd, Eggerpons 24th, Vinales 25th, Sandro Cortese in 26th. Never see that from Sandro. I mean, he's not been the greatest, but still, lower half of the 20s. Then Jorge Navarro in 27th, Manzi in 28th, Paoli 29th, Ekashima 30th, Locate 31st, Iko 32nd, and Axel Passani in 33rd on the third speed up. That's the final championship standing sees Patrick McDonald with 369 points, 39 ahead of Franco Morbidelli, with Miguel Oliveira winning the battle for third ahead of Alex Marquez by 6 points, 278 plays, 272, with Thomas Luthi grabbing the top 5, 14 points ahead of Baldassarri. Is just 2 points ahead of Passini. Then we've got Bagnaia in a very solid 8th, Xavi in 9th on that Tech 3, and then Marini ran out the top 10 with 104 points, with just the KTM of Oliveira, the Tech 3 of Xavi, and of course the speeder of McDonald breaking the Calix monopoly at the top, with Nakagami in 11th and Courtois in 12th. As with Agata in 13th on the Suter, then you got Corsi in 14th on the speed of 42 points. What an improved season from the Italian, with Axel Pons in 15th. Then Schrotter in 16th ahead of Remy Gardner, Brown Binder in 18th. In 11th, Vinales in 19th, Danny Kent in 20th ahead of Sandro Cortese by 2 points. Then Xavier Simon in 22nd, Raffin in 23rd, and Surin, the last of the point scorers, is the Malaysian with 2 points in 24th ahead of Jorge Navarro. Best of the non-point scorers in 25th for the Spaniard ahead of Nakashima, Manzi, Yoni Hernandez, Edgar Pons. Axel Bazzani rounds out the top 30 ahead of Ika, Paoli, and Andrea Locatelli gets the wooden spoon, with Calix winning the constructor stands by 75 points ahead of KTM. 410 plays 3.35. Then Speed Up in third with 152 points, 27 ahead of Tech 3, with Suter in fifth with just 74 points. As there's your top 3 confirmed: McDonald, Morbidelli and Oliveira. And yes, it may have just been second in the final race of the season. That's why McDonald's a bit muted, but what a season on the Speed Up, on the KTM and on the Calix of the Interwetten machine. He's a bit disappointed they didn't win on his Moto2 finale, but there will be some party tonight as there's the championship confirmed with lots of reputation earned. And now he goes on to a new challenge, a new season about to begin. Choose the team you want to race with. Well, we've gone through the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup. We've gone through and won the title in Moto3. Now Patrick McDonald has conquered Moto2. What will he be riding in MotoGP? Will it be the Repsol Honda? Will it be the Yamaha, the Ducati, the Suzuki, the LCR Honda, the Tech Monster Yamaha Tech 3, the Pramac Ducati, the Aprilia Racing Team Cressini, the Paul and Bear Aspar, the Avintia, the Red Bull KTM Factory Racing Team, or the Mark VDS machine alongside Jack Miller and Tito Rabat? Well, I think McDonald is going to join the Aprilia. He's going to join as Alicia Spargo and Sam Lowe's. This is where his MotoGP adventure begins. So let's see what Patrick McDonald can do on the Aprilia in his fifth season. Of course, we had the Red Bull Rookies Cup season, then we had a season in Moto3. Now we've had 2 in Moto2. Let's see how far he's going to spend in MotoGP to win this title. It'll be very tough on the Aprilia to begin off with, but as you can see, he can join any team. His reputation is sky high after that Moto2 title. But let's see if we can get off to a good start in Qatar and Argentina with his new team in the top class. But I hope you enjoyed the ride in Moto2 for the past season. Thank you, salamat to everyone who watched the episodes. Only 9 of them, of course, now for the whole of a season. But I hope you enjoy the episodes with the double races, and they will continue in MotoGP and in the future of rider career. But South watching, and I will see you next season.